Good afternoon, everybody. This is Naz. It is Tuesday, May 26th, and I am going to do a few of the chart requests I got over on Twitter. So what I thought I would do is chart these up basically from scratch. I wiped all of these charts before we started. So it's literally just taking this from scratch. So right now we're looking at Disney, ENPH, GAN, LULU, AYX, and DraftKings. All right. So let's just dive in. So right now we're looking at Disney, and right now what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my previous swing high and swing low. We're actually going to take it from this gap down right here. I'm going to just drop a anchored VWAP there. Look for my swing low, drop an anchored VWAP there. Looks like we got a little confluence there. We're on the daily chart, so I'm going to drop my 50 and 200 moving averages. No coincidence. Look, we got our 50 and two of our anchored VWAPs here, but we do have that 200 moving average coming up. So I'm just going to drop this little note. Pop that on top, and there we go. So what we could do is we can set an alert on the 200 moving average, breakthrough, touch, and bounce. Move this over so you can see. I'm going to increase the sensitivity so we get an early alert. I'm going to make it on the 10-minute chart to SMA 200. I always like to put the ticker right here, so when I get that text message, I know what's going on. We're going to have it expire in 30 days, trigger 20 times, create alert, set it and forget it. What did that take? 2 minutes to do? So, I mean, we could dive deeper into this and look at, support and resistance. But I think really that's for not. We really need to watch this 200 simple moving average. This is our key indicator for either a rejection and more of a downturn, or a breakout and a continuation up. Okay, let's look at ENPH. This is Enphase Energy. Did really well with this last year. Sold way too early, as obviously. And excuse the noise in the background. I do live in Brooklyn, the mean streets of Brooklyn. So you're going to hear sirens. You're going to hear people yelling at each other, and then you're going to hear people saying that I love you, because we hate each other and we love each other at the same time. If I were doing this video at 7 o'clock, you would be hearing everybody cheering for our healthcare workers, which is really, really awesome. And I think next time I do a video, I'm going to do it at 7 so everybody can hear. All right, so I lied. So I didn't wipe everything. So, okay, so ENPH. Let me just drop some support resistance here, see what's going on. We'll drop swing high, swing low here. So we'll do an anchored VWAP there, anchored VWAP there. Nice confluence here with the 50 again. Actually, it was funny. It's the same thing with the Disney chart. But it looks like we had our all-time high right over here, I believe. Yeah. And yep, there goes a car driving by. And we had a little double top sell-off. Came back, retested. And now we're kind of congregating over here on this 59 level. So I think this is a key swing level to keep an eye on. If we can continue to close over and move up, this could be a good entry point. If we fall back down, I would look for a retest on this confluence right here. All right, so moving along. GAN, I'm not familiar with this chart. Somebody had requested it. Obviously, it's a recent IPO. Let's just drop a anchored VWAP there. So I would watch any pullbacks to this anchored VWAP right here. Drop one right there as well. So yeah, these anchored VWAPs from Alpha Trends, Brian Shannon, really, really interesting tool that you can use. I mean, we're all very familiar with the volume, the regular VWAP. But the anchored VWAP is cool because you can anchor it to a specific location. So for recent IPOs, you want to anchor it to the IPO candle, and then generally on the swing high, swing low type candles. Not a great example here, but you can see this could be our first pullback entry right here on this recent swing high. So if we come back down to this 14 level, it could be a good entry. Okay, let's take a look at Lulu Lemon. Personally, I think it's a overpriced spandex, but that's just my opinion. I do, and I still do work in the fashion industry, so I have a little bit of knowledge to this. All right, so here February 17th, we had our all-time high, I believe. Yep, all-time high. So another thing, let me pull this volume by price tool over. We haven't really talked about that for this video. Such a great tool from TrendSpider. If I could just grab onto it. Come on, you can do it. It doesn't want to pick it up. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. All right. I'm going to actually anchor that to the recent low and see what's going on with price. And yeah, so we've got a nice breakout here. I guess this was on Thursday. Friday had a nice continuation and another gap up continuation today. So we're sitting at 281. Look at this. We have a golden cross coming. I like to just make that like a nice golden yellow. And since it hasn't happened yet, I'm just going to put a little question mark. We know it's going to happen. I mean, unless price kind of goes off the cliff in the next couple of days, this golden cross is going to take place. And that is a really bullish sign that can continue to drive price up. We could look at lower time frame EMAs and see where price is. So we've been riding this 21 EMA. So yeah, I mean, this is, you know, we haven't gotten a retest of the breakout. So this might be something to look for. If we retest and hold, that might be a good short-term or long entry. All right, did have some above average volume today as well, so that's another good sign. AYX, some of them we've traded a lot. Let me just turn these indicators off real quick. For the daily, weekly, monthly, I like to leave the 200, which is the red, and the 50, which is blue. Simple moving averages. Don't usually use exponential on the higher time frames. I stick to those on the lower time frames. So let's take a quick look. Let's drop some support and resistance here. Look at what happened here. We got rejected on Friday, and a little peekaboo candle and a sell-off. So this could be an interesting short or a put. I'm going to take a look at this later, but we do have a potential inbound golden cross coming. I think this is going to be kind of like a broken record. Just the nature of what happened with the drop and now popping back up so quickly. It's, you know, the drop and then the pop. Okay. So, but yeah, let's take a look at this 150 level. You know, it's a round number. It's generally a good psychological resistance level as well. But well, let's watch this golden cross. Let's see what happens over the next couple of days with Alteryx. And lastly, DraftKings, which has caused a little bit of controversy on my Twitter feed. Got a couple people getting into it a little bit, which is okay. Just keep it friendly. We're all battling the machines here. So let's just anchor this to this gap down candle right here. So you have a nice little volume base down here, nice volume base over here. When did this IPO? Maybe I can drop an anchored VWAP down here. It might be too small to see, but I'll drop an anchored VWAP here on this gap down candle. And let's just do another one here on this previous gap or previous swing high. So we've got a little bit of confluence here. We don't have a 200 simple moving average. We just don't have enough data for it yet, as it was not such a recent IPO, but not enough for a 200 moving simple moving average. But we do have a nice vertical, actually even a broadening vertical pattern here. So, you know, let's look maybe to see what happens if we touch this maybe $36 level up here, potentially touch that and sell off back into support. But you know, let's wait to see what happens. So this was just a really quick 10-minute 6 stock overview. Give you a little bit of insight, peek behind the curtain, I should say. How I chart with TrendSpider. Really love the platform. They've done a fantastic job constantly improving the software and adding new and interesting, cool tools for us to see. All right, so I will probably produce another video at some point, but want to get into the habit of doing this and maybe just show you guys a different way of how I can, instead of just pumping out charts and posting them on Twitter, just going through charts and getting giving you guys a little bit more insight in terms of how I chart. All right, have a great day, and let's catch you guys tomorrow.